Some people want to see you separated so they can have you to themselves. They're like purpose hoarders, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You got to be like, no, I love you, but I love what God's called me to do and where I'm supposed to be more than I love you. Because if I get there, you're going to be blessed. But if I spend time with you twiddling our thumbs, my purpose is stifled.
Creative people, what's going on? Welcome back to another episode of the Creatives Are Essential podcast, where we have therapeutic conversations for the creative mind. My name is Christina.
It's your boy Mark Lee.
Des.
And I'm Joe. Walk on, friends.
We're not in the studio today, as you can see. You guys probably didn't even know that we had legs. We always sit behind
Right, exactly.
the table. But this set has been gifted to us by our guest for today. We got the bishop in the building.
Oh, chill, bro.
You know,
The good Reverend Doctor.
He's been adamant about getting on the podcast.
Yes.
And today is his debut.
Yes.
So he is a producer, all around creative, father, husband, speaker, Reese Jackson.
Thank you for having me, everybody.
Welcome.
Can I just start by saying I'm honored to be here? Y'all are the best looking podcast, not only vocally sounding, but y'all look fresh. So today I had to bring out my good gear. You know
Come
what I'm
on,
saying?
minty
That
fresh.
Got,
That
Looking real
mint.
minty
mint
fresh.
condition up in
I
here
see.
today.
Ooh.
I love it.
So I had to make sure I was ready to rock with y'all.
I love it.
So,
Thank you
dig.
for all of this. This is going to be hard to go back to the studio now.
Right.
That was the plan.
So I mean,
That was
if
the
you
plan.
want to just let us hold
We can
this.
work out a fee. We can work out a fee.
You know, you get all your hoodies for free, right? Like, come on, man.
Is that the
Dude,
way
come
my
on,
Cashapp
man.
set up? I got
I'm kidding.
receipts.
I'm kidding. Yeah, we're glad to have you.
But
This-
thank y'all, man. Y'all family. I not only am I a fan of you guys individually, but I love this podcast. It is one that I think everybody should be listening to, whatever sphere of life you're in. It's meat. Y'all always come with that meat and the heat. So I'm excited
Meat and heat.
to be a part of it. Yeah.
So
Good stuff.
poetic.
Good stuff.
Well, since you said that, if you're listening to this podcast and you have not yet subscribed,
What are you doing?
what are we doing?
What's going on?
Let's get that
Get your life
together.
Come on.
Join the squad, subscribe, share the podcast with, whoever you think it would be a good fit for, which is everybody. We have dope conversations all the time.
Come
So
on.
make sure you subscribe, rate, comment, like, share, all the things.
All of it.
And let's get into it. You
Whatever
look so
she said.
excited.
Right.
Do all that.
Do all
Ask
the,
me things.
do all the
Yes.
things. So, I mean, let's jump right in because, I feel like you have a lot of wisdom to
Oh boy.
impart
Yes.
to us.
Throwing up the
Oh,
rock.
boy.
What was that?
I was stretching.
Oh, okay.
Stretching,
Okay.
you
I'm
know
about to
what I mean?
say. All right.
Well, tell the people about yourself. What is it that you do? Who are you?
Oh man, that's the hardest question I ever have to answer.
That's why you're doing it and not
Yeah.
me.
Yeah, I do a lot. My name is Rese Jackson. I am I'm a proud husband of Jenya Jackson of coming up on 18 years.
That's a
Some people
long
say that's
time.
unbelievable. I feel like we're just getting started. So, and I'm a proud dad of 3 boys. I have a 24-year-old. I have a 14-year-old and an 11-year-old. That's the pride and joy. I get the privilege of working in ministry, full-time ministry every day of my life, as well as a full-time business owner, entrepreneur. So I do a lot of creative things in production, set design, LED wall distribution, getting into film with these guys, hanging out with these guys. You can't just not do film. Like we got to fight about this. You know what I'm saying? So I do film, audio, stage design, things like that. Music producing, whatever. I do a lot of stuff.
You just all across the
And
board.
I'm not even Jamaican. Right? I'm not even Jamaican. That's the hardest question I have to answer. But yeah,
Jack
I
of
tell
all
people I
trades.
do what I have to do when I have to do it, so it gets
Yeah.
done.
That's it.
That's what's up. So
We
how
all
did
need a Reese.
how did you get into what you're doing?
Which part? I just named like
All
15
of it.
things.
What was
How
the
I got
first
into
thing
Jenya?
that
No,
led
just
into
playing.
Oh, I can't.
That's a little later. That's a little
Creatives
later.
Are Essential After Dark?
After
Dark.
Essential
Kids,
After Dark.
turn
We
this
just changed
off.
the title. Which part? The production?
Yeah.
Producing? Okay, so that started long time ago in 1998. I was in high school, just about to graduate, headed off to the Marines because I did not want to go to college on an athletic scholarship because I knew if I went to college, I was going to ruin my life because my head was all over the place. So I got hired at a local theater in the city that I lived in, and I was vacuuming and with the Walkmans. This is 1998 Walkmans, right? No nothing, iPod, none of that happened. So I had on a
Not
Walkman.
even a CD player.
Not
This
even.
was
It's Walkman.
Rewind,
Yeah,
press play,
tape. You wanna
switch
hear
the
that
side,
thing? It's
turn it over.
Time consuming, right?
With the silver wire?
Huh?
With the silver wire?
Yes, exactly. That one silver wire. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about? The yellow one.
Yeah.
The Sony yellow one. That was like a prize. So I'm
You got the
vacuuming
Star-Lord.
the local, right? I'm vacuuming this theater, and one of the producers of a local show that was producing shows there, I was dancing, you know, we doing our thing, and I was singing something, and I couldn't hear myself sing, but she came up to me, she's like, I need you. And so I'm like, all right, cool. To do what? And we were doing the Will Smith Men in Black play at the time, and so I think it's because I was black. Nevertheless, it worked out for me great. So I put down my broom, picked up the mic, did a whole rapping piece, and I got on the show, and it was a hit in that city because there weren't a lot of people, black people, whatever. So it was just being black plays off sometime, right? But
I feel like this is the plot to like the Black Good Will Hunting. Instead of like a math equation that was left, he's just in there dancing like, oh my God, he's
like
the one.
you're popping, locking. It just spoke to me.
We need
right?
you.
So I got on that show, and then from there I was like, I stayed after because I still worked at that place. So after the show, after all the applause had happened, people left. I had to go back and pick up that broom and clean that theater. So the very next day, the technical director is like, yo, you crushed it last night. I didn't even know. The guy who was over the theater, he says, I didn't know you could do that. He goes, bro, let me show you how to make some real money. So he asked me to come backstage to work one of these big Broadway shows. He says, all I want you to do is take these cables and coil them up and push those cases. And so I did that. And I remember, this is a vivid memory. I was making like $135 for like a 60-hour work week. It was nothing. It was peanuts.
Sheesh.
That day, in one day, right, I made $500. So me being from where I'm from, knowing how to do what I do, like if it looked good, it tastes good, it smelled good, it's good. I went back to the dude. I was like, yo, bro, what do I have to do to be back here every day? Because I lost my broom. Like, I lost the love for the broom.
Right.
And he was like, read this book, Lighting for Dummies. And so I read that book. Long story, just to fast forward it, 6 months later, I was the assistant stage manager at that theater. First black kid to ever do it. A year later, I was assistant technical director. 3 years after that, I was on my first Broadway tour in production as a set designer and things like that. And so, where I am now, I get to do all these amazing things. But it started, I tell people, I pop locked my way into the industry.
Come on.
So that's
So
how
you had a genuine.
Yeah, I was genuine. I think I was listening to Pony too. I think I was listening to Pony.
I mean, 98.
98, it was
probably-
around the time it was popping. So yeah, that's how I got into the industry of production and all this great stuff that I get to do.
Quick question: how often do you pop and lock through these aisles?
You have no
before-
idea.
Yeah.
Right before I told you I was going to the bathroom before we started, I was back there just getting it. Because
just
it's
to
like
prep.
it's like how I step into my groove. You know what I'm saying? Every superhero has a cape. Me, I just pop lock and
That's
then,
it.
and then I'm ready.
With genuine.
No matter what.
Activate.
Got it, exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Activate.
It's in my brain. So when that happens, boom, it's live, right? Everybody got a theme song. That's mine.
Bet. So
Oh my gosh.
with all that, like what are you doing now? What are the things that you're currently working on, a part of?
Oh man. So a couple weeks ago, we just started the launch of my wife's second EP, which she's a singer in contemporary Christian music. So she's dope. So we just linked up with some dope producers out of Nashville. So the focus for the next 7 months of my life is going to be on that. But I also, in the meantime, have some pre-existing shows that I'm working on. I'm working on a show with a professional athlete, former football player that's a real estate developer now out of Miami. It's called Real Lifestyle. That's dropping in February. That's going to be hot. On top of that, right?
Come on.
On top of that, we're working here at our facility, at our church, and local community. Man, we got a ton of things there. I'm moving into executive pastor role, so doing a lot of community outreach and things like that with our church, and just building the body of Christ. Man, is pretty dope. So yeah, I got a couple things happening, and then I still do some cameo appearances on different shows on different platforms, like such as I Am Athlete and things like that that are big on YouTube right now. So yeah.
So when do you sleep?
I sleep. Great question. I sleep about 4 hours a night. Real talk.
Real?
Yeah.
Every
4
night?
hours?
Yeah, that's my goal. Like if I get
That's your
4,
goal?
Yeah, I get 4, I'm good. See, a lot of times, and there's a lot of misnomers out there. Obviously, y'all. I just felt like the enemy on this show.
Felt like we slacking.
We don't get 12 hours, and we're useless. But I think it's part of my DNA. Like if I'm, for instance, today between what I did earlier this morning and getting to this podcast, I went home and took a nap, right? Mm-hmm. I felt for an hour discombobulated. I don't know what I'm doing with my life. I felt literally disheveled because I never sleep in the daytime just because of the season that we're in. I'm doing a fast and things like that. So my body's kind of like, dude, you know what I mean? But I never sleep in the daytime. And so at nighttime, when I get into bed around, depending on what's going on, but around 11, 12, my mind wakes up at 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm up. I get up. The first thing I do is read and pray in my devotional for my personal life. But then I also jump into my vision. Like, I'm like, hey, what do I got? Where are my goals? What are things that are happening right now? Like, I plan my day. I have to do that. And it starts around 4. And when you got children that are up at 6:30 and you're in dad school mode, making sure, my wife does a lot. And so I like to carry my weight as well. I take pride in certain situations, like bringing my kids to school. Every day I drive them to school, no matter what. They go in 2 different directions, so there's 2 different trips there. So I have to, in 6:30, I'm locked and loaded with my kids. So I have to get up at like 4-ish, 5-ish, and making sure that I'm ready to rock. You know what I'm saying? And spend my me time, because if I don't get that in, my life is over, right? There's nothing creative about me. Yeah. So that's how I'm wired. If I try to sleep longer, it's trash. It doesn't work for me.
How long has that been your routine though?
About 8 years. 8 years.
Yeah.
Because I used to go longer than that. I used to be in the studio to 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning making music. So my wife says, you coming to bed about 8 years ago. It's like, Negro, we falling asleep together. Yeah. So I'm like, you won.
Yeah.
You've been holding it down for a long time. So you reserve the right to make that demand on my life.
Yeah. But would you say I'm pretty sure you would feel like that works for you, but would you say that's like healthy for like
No.
any?
No.
Yeah.
No. I like, and this is not a bragging point, I'm just built different. True story. Some people
Mike
can't
Tyson.
function. No, for real. Some people, I learned a long time ago, the routine that you create will dictate the direction of your life. And for me, sleeping 8 hours is, I wake up and I'm late. I'm late for everything. I'm late. I don't function properly. So I have to get up early. And more sleep. I've tried to get more sleep, guys. Like, I really have. I'm just like, I've tried to go lay down. My eyes wide open. And everybody else in the house snoring. I got to walk laps around my house. So it's my thing. Is it healthy for someone else? Probably not. I hear all these things about work-life balance. I got a different opinion on all that. I believe, you again, the routine that you create will dictate the success of your life. That works for me. I'm not pushing that on anybody. I got my 24-year-old. This joke could sleep. I'm like, not in here, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, no, not in here. You got to do your own thing. But anyways, there's healthy, no, but works for me. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I kind of like the fact that like you said, the routine, having a routine, and what that looks like.
Facts.
And what works for you. I guess I was really just curious, like, at what point did you was there something like, it was one way back in the day in '98, and then you slowly kind of,
no, bro.
Huh?
No, bro.
No.
I've been in these streets for a long time. I came in the house, right, when I got married, but I stayed awake for a lot of years, right? So getting 4 hours and doing my thing now, this is a blessing. You know what I'm saying? And when I'm really, really tired, I'll do 6. You know what I'm saying? I'll sleep in to 6 o'clock. But I don't know about you guys, and y'all speak back to me. How do you work when you have things on your brain? Like, it does me no good to lay sleep, but my mind is wide awake. Like, my body's, I'm in rest mode. I'm sitting there and I'm thinking about everything I'm supposed to be doing. To me, procrastination is one of the number one sins. Like, get up and do it, make it happen. And then here's how I got to this place. My father was a finishing concrete guy. And so he had to be at the job at 6 a.m. So 4 o'clock in the morning, he's having himself a 5-piece breakfast. That's how he worked. And so I watched that my whole childhood, which kind of programmed me. Like, productivity happens before the rooster crows, right? And when people are home kicking it and chilling, like, I'm getting ahead then. So this is the way my mind is kind of wired, right? My wife and I, if we have any turmoil in our marriage, is like, bro, why don't you sit down somewhere? Yesterday was kind of like a day off, and we're all at the crib, and I'm like, I ain't going nowhere. After I got my son's haircut, we're sitting there, and she's sitting on the couch. And again, we're in a fasting time, so we're trying to preserve energy and make sure that we're good. We're like on a liquid fast, and so it has its own challenges, right?
Yeah.
Des knows. So she's like, why don't you just sit down somewhere? And I'm like, babe, I'm not gonna sit here. I don't watch TV. Like, you know what I mean? She's asking for more time, and this is probably where I go into confession mode. I said, baby, I'm going to do something. If I sit here, I'm gonna go crazy. So I went and started rearranging the shower and taking off toilet seats and cleaning deep and just doing weird stuff. And she got aggravated. She's like, just sit down somewhere.
Yeah.
I'm like, how long you know me? Like, why would you ask me to do the impossible? That's not who I am. My DNA is not wired that way. So sometimes I have to compromise. She knew yesterday wasn't her day to win. So she just gave up and she's like, all right, praise God. I'll be here when you get back. Right. So
Right.
that's it. So
I know it works for you, but would you consider yourself to be a workaholic?
yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Hands down. I
So,
don't,
yeah.
I honestly, hi, I'm Rese Jackson. I am a workaholic. Like, I don't know how to
Reese
turn it off.
Jackson.
I don't know how to turn it off. The only time I know how to turn it off is when I'm not thinking about 50 things is in my devotional time, my prayer time. There, I just have to take some time in silence. And then I go, you know, Lord, what do you got to say to me? Because this is my life, right?
Yeah.
And that's the only time I know how to shut it off. Other than that, I'm thinking something, I'm writing something, I'm producing something, I'm going over some scripts, I'm looking at this idea, you know what I mean? 15 people are calling, texting, all these, you know, means of getting to me. So it's just, you know.
I
that's how
feel
I
that
work.
though.
Yeah.
I feel that because for me, I think I'm always fighting against the fear of falling behind
Mhm.
and always wanting to like catch up. So if I'm sitting idle, which I would enjoy doing, you know, I don't think I have a problem with that, but I'm always like, dang, I know I have X, Y, and Z to do. If I just sit right here and just watch Netflix or whatever, like I just can't, you know, how many things am I falling behind on? And I don't know, man. Like
I'm driven by purpose. See, for me, it's not about, I would consider that kind of motivation defensive. Like that's like, oh, I don't want to miss out on something like the FOBO, right? For me, it's like I'm driven by process and results. So I'm like, what can I be learning that I'm not learning because I'm here doing nothing, right? So I had to, even as a father now, my kids demand time. Like they're athletes. One guy is running track, one guy's playing basketball and bringing me stats and all these things every day. So I'm even in that right there, which seeming like it's not moving in productivity. It is, because I'm producing these men that are just gonna challenge, they're gonna change their world. You know what I'm saying? So even that I can give 100% attention to, and I can turn off shows and ideas and concepts and strategies and all these things because that to me is the number one priority. So it's like I'm driven, not like what am I missing out on, because that'll drive me crazy. Like if I think about what I'm missing out, it'll drive me nuts. I'm driven by the process and the results. You know, what something is becoming. You know what I'm saying? By me being involved in it. What can I learn from this moment? So that's why I don't have chill off moments. Like everything has a purpose behind it. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? Like it's like I'm driven by purpose.
Yeah.
Do you ever find yourself like have you ever found yourself at a point where even being a father, being a husband, that you just like woke up one day like, man, like when did my kids grow up? Because you have, and you're so involved with everything. Yeah. So many things. Like, did you ever have one of those moments?
As in like missing out on something?
As if he's missing out.
Yeah.
I think, 'cause being
to be honest
stretched.
with you, I can't say that I have, and here's why, Mark. I've been super intentional about everything I do. My family is involved with it. It's like I don't have business that they're like, this is daddy's business and then this is our life. No, my family's involved with me. I took my kid on the video shoot with me the other day, had him there shooting real estate photos and stuff like that. He's like, Dad, this is so cool. And he's been doing that with me. Like they've been by my side. When I was producing music, my son's now is an amazing drummer because I had him on my lap playing drums. And when he started playing, I don't have to play anymore. So we do it together. So my wife, she does voiceover for, you know, she'll do the creative aspects for some of the music that we do in production and things like that. So it's always like we're always integrating life. And I was intentional about that because, again, my dad left the crib at 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning. I didn't see him at 8 p.m. So he was my number one greatest fan to this day, but he was absent. Not to his fault, because that's what you had to do. But I took notes of that growing up. I'm like, hey, everything I do is all inclusive. If my family can't do it, then we're not doing it. You know what I mean? Sometimes I gotta go on a trip real quick, be right back. You know what I'm saying? I never wanted to see more of the back of my kids, to see more of the back of my head than they saw my face. So I was always intentional about, you know, this is what we're doing. You know what I mean? Here's what we got. And if I do something, this is what I really try to hone in at. My wife will disagree maybe, but I try to go, hey, listen, I'll be back in 2 hours. If I have to do something, you know, I'm in ministry, guys. Like there's no off button for ministry, right? Sundays never stop. That's my world, right? So if I have to do something, I'm like, I'm back in an hour and a half. And I try to hold fast to it because she's been gifted with the gift of time. Management, mainly mine, right?
So that leads me to another question. I hope we're not jumping ahead too much, but do you feel like you'd be able to do what you do had you been married to anybody else?
Absolutely not. I was about to try it, Mark, and something happened. The light bulb came on.
Tell us that story.
I was going in a different direction. So before I changed my whole entire life, and I was in New York. I was working with a touring actually with a show called Stomp. It was an off-Broadway show, and I was involved with a person that was also in the industry, and man, got engaged. And you know what I mean? I'm a little bit younger than her, so I was always trying to prove myself, right, to her older friends, right? And so we get engaged, and you know, we're going down this path. And one day, you know, my life changed all of a sudden, like with I had a God encounter, and so everything shifted at that moment. And I told the Lord, like the first time when I knew that everything was changing, I'll go, God, two things. Number one, don't use some guy to say God said to me, because I grew up in a religious kind of situation. And I always hated those moments. Like, why you got to make it so creepy? Like, why the God said moments got to be so weird? Like, God said, he gave me 2 ears. I can hear regular English. Why I got to be all this other stuff? So I was turned off by that. And the second thing I told the Lord was, the one that I'm about to marry, God, I love her. And if this is not the one you've prepared for me, I had enough sense to inquire about the one, right? Because I know there's the many, but I needed the one, right? The many we dealt that we got that taken care of. But the one, if this is not the one that you've built for me, right? That knows exactly who I am and definitely not going to change the identity of who I am, you remove her and bring the one that is. And so I had a very, like a quick turnaround encounter. And my wife now of 18 years almost, she was perfectly positioned, waiting. And it took me to not do my Reese thing, which is, hey, how you doing? What's your name? All that. And just let it come to me. But I was in position, and that's the key. Yeah. So yeah, my life wouldn't be what it is. I'm 1,000% sure of that. I couldn't do anything of what I'm trying to do because nobody else would understand me. And God knows when I'm locked and loaded on something, it's, you know, it's hard to really remove that from me. So yeah, she is the one. She's built with grace. She's built with patience. She's built with understanding, which is the greatest out of all that. I understand that you're going to do something. I understand that you're doing this. And she's built in such a way where she knows how to adapt to what we got going on. Notice I didn't say I, right? Yeah. Because a lot of times in relationships, you see the turmoil happen because I got to do this. No, it's we got to do this. Like, she's not speaking here, but she's speaking here. You understand what I'm saying? So that's how we build our situation.
So how does that look? We had a podcast episode called Love and Creativity where we talked about do you think you need to marry a creative? So like when you come up like, hey, I have this idea, like how do you present that to Jenya, or how do you guys like come to say like this is something that we're gonna move forward in? Yeah. Or like maybe put on the back burner for a while, or like what does that conversation look like?
Oh, so for us it's pretty dope because I know who she is, and we are like seriously like in our oneness of what's going on. She's a perfect sounding board. Like, cause I got a billion ideas. I just told you about a couple things. Like, as we all do, my ideas is like, boom, my boy, I can throw up some ideas like crazy. So she is a voice of reason. She's a perfect sounding board. She's a realist. She'll be like, babe, that's fantastic in your head. That'll never work. If people don't want to hear that crap, like, you know what I mean? Like, we're real. Yeah. So it's amazing. Like, she helps me bring to the forefront the best of who I am. That represents who we are as a family. That represents what I'm a part of, right? She'll tell me, she says, in a particular situation a little while ago, I was about to do something because the moment called for it. And she goes, that's amazing, babe. She did it so gracefully, bro. You'll love it. She goes, I'm going hard, and I'm very convincing about what I believe, right? If I believe it, I can sell it. Well, I've bought it twice before I started selling it to you. So I'm selling something. I'm like, baby, we should do this, and this is how, and this is how it's gonna work. She goes, that's amazing, babe, but that's not who you are. Just like that. And then immediately, like, bro, e-breaks happen. Skirt.
She know you.
But I'm like, and here's the deal. I had no rebut for her. I could have went on, if it was one of y'all or somebody else telling me what I couldn't do, and I'm like so convinced about it, I'm like, forget you don't know. She put the e-brake. She said, that's amazing. That'll work for somebody else, but that's not who you are. Yeah. So it kept me grounded in my own identity and not pursuing these things that feel good in the moment, right? So, you know, to answer the question, yeah, it's her, it's us, it's we're one, right? So it doesn't work if I start doing my thing. It has to be our thing. Adaptability is like a big word we use in our home. Like we can adapt to that. Like we got what it takes to make that moment happen, that time, that season that we're trying to produce go forward.
Yeah, I think that's dope. Like even when you said for the next 7 months, it's her project.
Yeah.
But that's where your focus is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because for a lot of us, it could be like, well, that's her thing, I'm assisting. But no, like you took it like, no, that's our
ours.
thing.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? To
It's
dedicate.
our thing, yeah.
You got a
that's
gift.
pretty
You got to
dope.
work your gift. There's certain things I'm not going to try to tell her how to sing. Like, that's not my gift, right? I just want to be there to make sure that people that she's working with, know that this is what she brings to the table. Let's make sure that we maximize on that, and you add to that. But you're certainly not going to take anything away. So I kind of slip into like husband protector mode. You know what I mean? Even though I'm not directing or producing, I'm with the process. Like I'm there, I'm on the phone calls, I'm in the meetings, I'm in the Zooms and all the above. I'm in the studio, making sure that she knows that I'm 1,000% involved. Even if I'm sitting there just doing coffee for her, getting tea, getting lozenges, and you know what I'm saying? And tuning instruments, because that happens to be one of the things I know how to do. So whatever it takes, I'm there. But yeah, it's locked in.
I can attest. I remember like there was some years ago, I think it was we had our paths had crossed before, but we weren't like as cool as we are now.
Right, definitely.
And I remember I remember Jenya was singing at like a service at the church or something like that. And Reese was right up there like, hey, here you go. We're going to go with track. Like he's like her like assistant, like making sure like,
yes,
where do you want her to sit or where do you want her to stand? Which mic? Okay, cool. All right. Well, we'll be right. You just let us know where. And I'm like, I like this guy.
Yeah, people would say that's for cool points, bro. We've been doing that. That's how we even became. Because both of us have, and this is a synonymous thing for people that are pursuing relationships, is like, man, if you wake up every day to serve the person that you believe that is a gift from God for your life,
Come on,
you're gonna have a better life.
Yeah.
It's the problems happen when you wake up every day trying to take and trying to input. Like, I want it my way. Like, learn how to die to self so that we can live. I got to die daily. You know what I mean? Because sometimes my stuff be calling me, but my focus is this is where you gotta be, right? This is where you need to be. So we wake up to serve each other.
Yeah.
And people were like, oh, the kids just take. No, our kids understand. Like, bro, since birth, this is a gift to her. My wife's a super planner, right? She has structure and infrastructure for our house. Before our kids were born, she's like, these kids ain't sleeping in our bed. These kids are going in their own bed. They're going down at 8 o'clock because at some point, 18 years, 20 years from now, they're going to leave this house and we still got to be in love with each other. We still got to be all over each other, you know what I'm saying, to make us work.
I like
so
her.
Her structure from the get-go, like mama, Jenny is amazing at this stuff, you know what I'm saying? So we make sure that because we've always been intentional about, bringing our best to each other. Like, I'm not coming home from a 12-hour day giving her some unrest, right? Or just giving her some nonsense, but like, oh, I'm so tired, girl, I just want to lay on your lap. She's like, oh, you gave all that energy to everybody else. And here's the deal, she doesn't demand it, I demand to give it to her. So I find that extra level. Yeah, it's me. It's me because I want us to be good, right?
That's good.
People like, mama ain't good, nobody ain't good. Well, no, if we ain't good, we ain't good.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like, we got to be good. So I need to bring that same energy that I was out there trying to produce somebody's stuff with, bring that into my house. If my house is not the results of what I've been producing, then I'm missing the big picture.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
good.
Is that how it
on
was?
the show.
Yeah, you do.
I was gonna say we gotta get Jenya on the show too.
Yeah.
I gotta evaluate my life.
Right.
Let me get to know you.
Jenny can find them too, bro. I know, you know what I'm saying? If y'all looking, viewers, my wife, she don't have a business yet, but it might be a business. She might be hooking y'all up, right? My wife will call them out from miles. Like, yeah, y'all been together? That's not it though.
Oh,
She like that.
sheesh.
So anyways, Mark, you might want to pray about consulting her.
Jenya,
but that's
expect
the
a
thing.
phone call.
Jenya, since I've known you guys, first off, since I've known you, I don't think I've ever seen you upset. That's one thing. But
Oh, you ain't
two-
seen me
Oh, I'm
long.
about to say that you haven't
No.
seen her.
Mark, I
wait.
blow. I got my
don't think
backpack is full of fuses. I blow them all the time, bro. I blow them.
Man, but you've always just been and Jenya's always been sweet.
Yeah.
But I could tell, like, no, you
She
don't
don't
want to mess
play.
with her.
Oh no,
Hey, Sean,
that's
you
one.
know-
I tell people I am not scared of no man breathing, but that little 5'2", 6", whatever she is, don't hurt me, baby. She know how to get some straightening with me.
Yeah.
Real talk. And you know what? I don't want to ever see her disappointed, Mark. And that's the thing. We were dating one time. She'll hate me for telling this story, but we were dating one time, and I was wrestling with her, and I grabbed her in a different kind of way, like by the arm, and I kind of grabbed her too tight. And she snapped, bro. She grabbed, like, it was a belt on the bed. She grabbed the belt and she was like, I promise you. She grabbed the belt and she was like, pow, pow. She hit me, bro. I'm like, the first one I was like, oh, girl, you cute. The second was like, oh, you. I almost went like, this is slick. Like, you think this Jim Crow? And I was like, oh, she's serious.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, snap.
Slavery.
I literally
She
gave her a
don't
timeout. I
play.
go, I will never play with you like that again. Because I'm like, the first hit was cute. The second hit, that was like, trying to harm me. It was like, I'm like, nah, bro. So anybody know what I'm talking about? Like, she's not violent, but she got that way.
Yeah.
She's one of those people like you just never want to see disappointed in nothing.
Yeah.
Because she's so, like you said, sweet. She's so genuine. She's so real. So I never want to disappoint her. So that's why, when it's time to do something, we doing it.
Yeah.
And also she has that way. This is what I love. I mean, we turned this into a marriage show, but this is what I love too. Jenya is so much more advanced in a lot of ways than me. And we met kind of like as kids. We met at 21, right? So Jenya was, she'll say something from the most sweet, profound place. And I got the arguments in me, Mark. So I don't know how you never seen me blow fuses, but praise God for your vision, amen. But Jenya got a way of just saying a simple truth that just goes into that place. No matter how much you want to fight it and combat it, and I want my way, and da-da-da, you don't understand. She just says, but no, that's what, why would you do that? And it's kind of make you change your whole life. Like, why, why are you doing that? She'll go like this, Joe, your beard is amazing. Why are you doing that? She didn't tell you to shave off the beard, which I love the beard. I'm so jealous I can't get one. But she'll just say something and you just want to correct your life. And maybe that's because I'm built to lead and do stuff like that and be in her life like that. So with all that being said, with all the knowledge and stuff that she brings to the table, she knows that even when I'm very, very wrong in a way, she'll do it in such a way where only I can hear her voice. You understand what I'm saying? Where I would fight anybody else breathing and be like, no. She'll just do it in such a way where I'm like, yes, Lord, I heard you.
Yeah.
We good. Yeah. I'll change. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So she's different. She's different. Yeah.
I feel like this is relationship.
Right.
I love it though.
I'm feeling all the tingles again.
Right.
From the last time we talked about this stuff.
Yeah. But I remember when we were doing the what was it? Love and creativity.
Yeah.
I know some of us it was kind of like the question was asked okay, how much of my creative space am I allowing for this my spouse to it's where does that fit in? But to hear this perspective, I think it's interesting, but I'm also wondering how it would work if two people aren't, like you said, so having how did you say it? Working to serve one another. You know what I mean? As opposed to taking. So.
Well, it depends, bro, because first of all, when you think about marriage, right? And I'm not talking about dating, because dating's different. Dating's like, man, I ain't sharing nothing. Because I don't know you like that.
Yeah, we're going to talk about dating too.
It's different. I'm talking about marriage, guys. When you're married to somebody, you've literally said yes. Until the dirt is on the face of us, we're doing this thing together, right? Yeah. We're in this. When you stand on stage to get an award and I'm sitting in the audience, we on stage getting an award. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. That's oneness. And I think that's not taught a lot in culture about oneness and what that actually means. Because marriage is not just some contract that you sign and say, yeah, we're going to try to kick it as long as we can kick it. And when we ain't kicking it no more, we stop kicking it. You know what I'm saying? That's how people look at it. But we got married to win together. It's not a win if I'm doing something she's not a part of. And so when you're talking about dating though, and sharing your creative space, that's different. That's different. Because first of all, I don't even know if sounds bad. I don't know if you're capable. I don't know if you have the capacity to share this space with me. That's why you got to be careful who you link up with. Some people are better divided from career and personal life because they don't have the capacity to cross over. You can't work. I know people right now in real time that are trying to work together and start businesses together. But I'm like, okay, if you don't have y'all worked out, when that friction of business, the natural, process of growth and growing through things, which means sometimes you're going to take some L's, right? If y'all not together saying, listen, we're going to win together, we're going to learn together, we're going to win together, learn together. When that first L comes, it's going to divide you guys. It's going to reveal your weakness. And when it reveals your weakness, then most people don't have the fortitude in themselves personally to overcome that weakness and really pursue the outcome of being together, going forth. And you're like, we're better as just business partners, or we're better as just dating. Let us draw a line in the sand. We can't do this work and marriage together. You know what I'm saying? So you got to understand, I think it starts with who you are as a person, your personal identity being solidified. One thing my wife is, she's 100 about who she is. I've seen the best of the best try to convince her to go otherwise. And she goes, oh, no, I'm sorry. No, thank you. Me, I'm like, nah. You know what I'm saying? So we're 1,000 in that. And so when you have the true reality of who a person is, you can build on that. It's truth. It's not some, in the moment. Yeah, of course, we're forever evolving, but our foundation is solidified. You understand what I'm saying? So, yeah, dating is different, though.
So let's talk about that though.
Yeah.
For all of us here, legally, we're single.
I'm not sure what that
I like how you did that.
Mark got 4 wives. I'm not sure. I don't know how that works.
Working on 5.
So when
5
you're
after this.
dating or when you're single and looking to date, like what type of person, especially as a creative, what type of person should you be looking for?
I go, as a creative, I just think it has to be a person that has understanding. Because you got to understand how we work. We're different.
Yeah.
We're different. Like think about it, every other job is like, that's going to produce, it's going to be like 9 to 5-ish. Business meeting may happen here. A convention may happen over here. But guys, our job is forever in front of a screen, forever behind the camera, forever in front of people telling them what to do. And we all know the supply and demand of what we do. Like people always going, hey, can we? Hey, should we? Hey, can you? You think we can? And when that person that you're trying to open up your life to does not understand that, they're going to do one of these. Hey, can we? Hey, you think we should? And it's going to take you away from something that you've loved for a long time and them you barely know, right? So it's drawing the line in the sand like, listen, understanding who I am. I bring my full self to the table when I'm trying to date for real. Like when I'm not dating for real, you can get a character. You can get a version of who I am. Like you can get this super chill, laid back guy, and 2 weeks later, you'll be like, who's that guy?
Yeah.
That dude's hanging off the rafters, designing lights. So I think you got to have a person, when you're pursuing that person, to answer the question, they got to understand who you are. Before you go past the 3rd date, I think you should do one of those throw up things and just say, hey, here's I am. Here's my goals. Here's where I'm going. And most people go against that. Don't share your dreams and visions with people. No, I need you to know. Because if you're a potential, I need you to know what you're getting into off rip. Like, because this is not going to change. Just so you know, you may change 5 or 6 times, the person that's sitting in that seat, but this is not going to change. And I think when we lead with vision like that, what I'm trying to say and understanding, I think you're less, the people that are not attracted to that will immediately dismiss themselves from your life. The people that'll go, okay, I appreciate that. Some people just try it like a roller coaster ride for the first time, like, oh, let me see if I can ride this thing. And they'll realize like, I'm never riding that ride again, right? But the person, not the people, but the person that's for you, that after you've clearly expounded upon who you are, you're given a vision, you're honest about it, right? I think that person will know that, know what they're signing up for. I think a lot of people, we lead with these false conclusions like, oh yeah, I'm available. No, you're not available. See, what happens is you got to schedule my availability. And the creatives, we try to be available, and then next week, and then we engage. You engage these people in a whole relationship of instability. Well, as a creative, it's unstable a lot of times, right? So you tell that person like, I'm gonna be there every Thursday. We're gonna go out. Unless you hold down every Thursday and miss the opportunity to come with those Thursdays every now and then, like you're leading falsely.
So how then do you find that compromise?
I think there's a person. First of all, I personally think that there's a person that understands you better than you probably understand. You know what I'm saying? I think it's like fishing, man. Like if you go on saltwater fishing, but you're using freshwater bait, you're not gonna find them. Right. So if you want a person that's in the industry, you got to be in the industry. If you want a person that's fun, you can't be, you can't be in a place that's not fun. I think you have to put yourself in position to say I'm available. A lot of people in our industry, we're so busy doing this that we become unavailable. Like the person, the spouse, that guy, that girl, that person is right beside you, but you never look up from the camera. You can't see him. Because you're so in love with your task, you don't tell them that, hey, I'm actually available. Hey, I'm actually single. You matter of fact, you talk about everybody else's life, but you never talk about your own. So if you don't write a vision and have a vision, those who's called to run it, read it and run with it, they'll never see it. You have to present yourself as available, right? And I think the expression of creativity is one of the best ways to present yourself as available. And I think sometimes we miss it because we're building everybody else's dream while managing our own.
So I'm gonna put my camera down for the week.
Like after hours, you go on a shoot. We all been out there, right? We go on a shoot. We go on a commercial shoot. There's people in that room. Okay, you might see something. Like, let's not neglect the natural things. Like this person's just gonna beam a light in that person. No, that don't happen like that. Like you see something, you're like, interesting. Swag. Dope. Charisma. Right? You see something. That's a sensory mechanism that's working for you that God gave you to be able to check in and say, hey, I like something about that person. Yeah. Now, if I never present myself as available, or see if that person's available, or check them out on today's, Instagram. On the gram, see what they about, that'll tell me, hey, should I even be available, right?
Yeah.
And you make yourself, but a lot of times we don't do that, guys. We we see something on a page, or y'all, because I ain't seen nothing in a long time.
I don't even know what Instagram is. What's Instagram?
What? I left from the Facebook.
Yeah, the Facebook.
But you see something out there, and then you go on to be you go on to be like a fan of that person while never expressing yourself. And I feel like, and this is a long answer, I know, but I'm sorry. I feel like if I'm cool with me, I can tell you what I think about you, and I'm good with it. Because nothing you're gonna say about me is gonna change who I am. Does that make sense? I can be like, yo, I think you're a very dope person. You know what I'm saying? Or you to a young lady, I think you're beautiful. Not only on camera, but off camera. Are you seeing someone? Right? Are you
Just like
involved
that?
with somebody?
That's
huh?
correct.
That's bold.
Where they at?
I don't.
Because
Where they at?
I don't know.
But like I said, I'm
They be
built
like-
different. Guys, I'm in a different generation. Like we don't want from afar. I want you to know from up close. Like if I'm interested, I'm interested. I don't know.
Christina and I like.
I've never been a waiter.
Where they at?
They ain't not in our generation.
Man.
Our generation.
And there's a
be
reason
like,
for that, Des.
Sliding.
Yeah.
They'll go
sliding
on
in
your
the DMs,
Instagram,
right? Like a couple pictures,
and then just dip.
and then that's it.
See,
Or if
I
you
got a
see
word
me-
for
Is
that.
that
I
the
won't
bait?
say
Is
it.
that the freshwater bait? In the
That's brackish water. They in between both waters. They don't know who they are.
Mm.
And you know what I don't like about that is that that's unlearned behavior. Like a dad never showed a son how to pursue a daughter or a girl.
Yeah.
He never opened the doors for his wife. His son never saw that. So therefore, he has no understanding of how to pursue a girl. Right? And I have zero. I've been known my whole life that Reese don't got game. I have no game. You know what I do? I have me. I just go say what I feel, and I'm not afraid. Again, remember, this is the powerful statement. Watching at home, check this out. If I know who I am, then nothing you could say to me can tell me who I'm not. So you really can't hurt my feelings if I'm telling you you're beautiful and you're like, oh, thank you. That's not gonna make me feel some type of way. I already programmed myself to know that you probably was stinking. You hear that from a lot of guys, but you never heard it from a real genuine guy who your reaction to my comment is not gonna change me. Because I knew that I'm something as well. Right? I'm telling you who you are, but I know what I am. So you not acknowledging what I am and just saying, "Oh, thank you," as if I'm some bozo trying to add to your comment list. No, that didn't hurt me, and I'm gonna take the extra mile. You ever see that one? Come on, let's get real. You ever see that one guy? You ever see that one guy that's never been to the gym, right? Doesn't look not all that pleasant to the eye. I'm trying to use very nice words.
Stop talking about Jones.
You understand what I'm saying? Does not dress the best, but he got a dime. Does anybody else know a guy like that? I got two in my mind.
He got money.
In school, one of my boys was a stinky kid. He was a lineman for me. I played football. He was an old lineman. The stinky kid always smelled like onions. When you get around, you want to cry because he's frowsy. I saw the dude like 10 years later. And I'm walking by on South Beach. I see him there with this beautiful girl. I saw her before I saw him. I walk over. I just wanted to get a better look, right? I'm just walking by. I can get a better look, right? Just make sure that God's creation is what it is. Right? They want me to be an alien.
Oh,
So I'm walking around.
I mean, whatever works for you.
I just want to make sure the girl, I'm thinking this from afar. I'm like, my mind's playing trick. This girl is beautiful. So I'm walking by. I see this joker there. I'm like, bro, what's good? He's like, yo, what's good? I pulled him, whispered in his ear. I ain't talked to him like 15 years out of high school. I'm like, bro, how'd you do it? He goes, it's me, baby. It's me. That changed my life.
Yeah.
Because it's not always the muscles and the gun show and the sun's out and all that crap. It's not always the jewelry, the bling. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Nothing. It's confidence is sexy.
Yeah.
Confidence is sexy. And the reason why y'all get dudes sliding your DM and just liking a few pictures and going out, and they want you to respond to them because they're not confident in themselves. Like the rejection, right? I don't know if robo or fear of rejection or whatever that is. Guys are so used to being rejected because they don't know who they are that it actually changes who they are. When you
That's a
rejecting
bar.
me does not change me. It doesn't reveal anything about me. It just revealed that I told you the truth and you told me a perspective of what you think.
Yeah.
It doesn't change me. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think foundationally, dads bring that to the table. And a lot of people in our culture right now, they grew up without dads. They grew up without fathers. Okay, they grew up without men speaking in their life and telling them like, this is who you are. I don't care what they say. And I was very fortunate to have a dad who was uneducated, right? Got a 7th grade education. Didn't know how to do a lot of things, not wealthy, right? In a lot of areas, but he told me, this is who you are. Never let anybody change you, meaning foundationally, you grow, you only go up from here. And when guys don't have that, relationships suck. They become terrible husbands, terrible dads. So you got to know that's why in current culture, these gentlemen are sliding your DM. I ain't going to your DM. I'm going to you. The DM is coverage. Like, you reject me, I just delete you and unfollow and keep moving on. You know what I'm saying?
So,
matter of fact, I didn't even follow you first.
So question, what if
Right.
it's somebody, advice to somebody who might see a girl or guy on social media, but you're not running in the same circles. Is it, as opposed to sliding in the DMs, do you figure out where
address?
Where do you live?
figure out where they be? Not ask, but like, oh, she tagged she's at, I don't know, like location. Like, do you put yourself in the same circle? Like,
Oh, if you're not already
right
in
in that circle, do you show up to where they
Stalker much?
Right. Do you stalk them?
yeah.
So there's a couple answers to that. I'll go with this one though. Yes, don't make stuff weird.
Yeah.
Right? Don't be weird. I think boldness, and ladies, you guys, let me ask you a question as I answer this question. A guy who's super available via social media but not available in person, how is that? Are you open to talk to that guy?
Turn off.
No.
Turn off. You know why? Because he's super available, but he's not bold. He has no courage.
Yeah.
So even the finest girl in the room, Mark, I don't care if she's your circle, not your circle. When I make my presentation of presenting myself to compliment you, which is what women all want to hear, right? Everybody want to hear they fresh. But when you go to a woman, you say, those shoes have never looked better. I've seen them on the shelf the other day, but on your feet, they're amazing, right? Conversation starter. No game, just goofy. Actually, I've been called corny by several women. Never changed the fact that I am corny because I've embraced corny. So it works for me, right?
Girls like that too.
But if I can get you talking to me, then my corniness has turned into courage. Because all these other brothers are talking about you, but nobody's talking to you. You understand what I'm saying? So stalker, stranger danger, I don't know about all that. But I do know this, if I'm presenting my real self, then I'm not a stranger. You just don't know me yet.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like, go after it, bro. We are created by God to pursue what we want. The DNA of men, of a man, M-A-N, is to conquer and possess. And I think any other way, you're being conquered. I think any other way, you're being conquered by fear. You're being conquered by your lack of identity. You're being conquered by all kind of things that is not who you really are. It's probably because you never really learned. And I most people being conquered by the idea of being rejected. So what? So what? You can't reject the truth of who I am. It doesn't make me go down, right? If I am what I am, then I'm that, whether you like it or not, or appreciate it or not. It doesn't change me. And I think we need to get that. So yeah, be a little corny. They might say stranger danger, but it's me, baby. You're only a stranger danger. Tomorrow I'm your best friend. You
Find
feel
the
me?
happy medium.
I wanna pivot back to marriage. So so every season, you and Jenny, you said you've been married for 18 years.
Yep.
So at what point, because you go through seasons in life. So at what point do you know, like, or is there a tell sign that, like, what's been working for us in this creative space or with everything that you're doing, it's not necessarily working for my family anymore. Like, what are some signs? Like, man, I've been so involved over here, I might need to spend a little bit more time at home.
Yeah.
Like, what does that look like?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think that comes with planning. For us, again, when she understands what I'm built to accomplish and what I'm built to do, and I understand vice versa on what she's built to accomplish, we can plan for that. We can go, hey, babe, we're going to give ourselves to this vision completely for 5 years. We're going to be super flexible so we don't get bent out of shape, right? We're going to do this. I'm going to be bouncing around. I'm going to be showing up just at the nick of time before my son, the gun blows off for him to start his race. But I'm you know what I mean? But there's certain foundational things, Mark, that we don't forfeit. Like, I'm going to pray with my kids at nighttime. To go to bed, we're going to be there for that. And when I can't, I'm jumping on FaceTime. See, all these means of communication, we use them as tools to make sure that we stay communicated with the main thing. So seasonally, we'll say, this is what we're going after. Here's our goals. Here's where we need to be financially. Here's where we need to be in dreams and visions wise. And then, in this stage of life, we need to do that. But you can't have what you don't plan for. Okay. I believe that 100%. You don't get what you want. You get what you prepare for. Preparation has to do with planning. I don't think it's fair for me to come and say, come home tonight and be like, hey, babe, I got this deal. I'm going to be gone for 7 months. You take care of the kids, and I'll, the bank account will be great, but take care of the kids. That ain't cool, because that's not a part of this plan. But if we're saying, babe, this year is a money year, I'm going after the green, so opportunities will come out of the yin yang, right? Let's structure ourselves, and so when they pop up, if the bag presents itself, we're carrying it. You understand what I'm saying? And that she's aware of. So now we have this grace in this season to know that this is bag season. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, and then there's also seasons, which I'm in right now, where we're shifting a corner into like, okay, my son's high school freshman, right? 11-year-old going into sixth grade. More attention is required from dad. So I got to go in my creative process and working, producing things like that. Hey, listen, I'm going to be at my son's basketball game, and I'm going to coach his team this year. So every other thing has to work around that. That shows my family that you're still number one priority. When before I'd get to the game right before the whistle blow. You understand what I'm saying? So we talk about things like that. We plan the seasons that we're in, according to our goals and our vision, what we want to see happen. We plan these things out and we pursue accordingly. We don't let the plan tell us what we're gonna do, right? And then there's time where we're coming into where she's like, hey, listen, baby, I need a lot of me time. So I'm like, hey, let's upgrade our vacations as a family, and then let's do our two times a year where we go away as just you and I, no kids, right? So because I've been away for 3 years and we've just been doing our family thing, now she's like, hey, I say we need to get 2 trips in just for you and I for 8 days or so at a time, right? So it's planning. It's all about planning. If you don't plan life will happen to you. It'll
Y'all
plan
take
it for you.
8-day trips?
Huh?
Y'all take 8-day trips? Yeah.
We're up to that.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that's good.
We have
So
to.
it sounds like it's not so much about balance, because we hear that word a lot when it comes to work and relationships and stuff like that. It sounds like for you guys, or just in general, the goal is prioritizing.
Exactly. 100%.
You know? But
Balance
how do
is
you-
weird.
Huh?
Balance is weird for me. I don't even know how to use that word.
So
'Cause
balance just doesn't exist.
Not in my world, because I'm 1,000%. I learned this by my mentor a long time ago. Be 1,000% where you are in the moment. And when you're done with that moment, be done with that moment. Balance is bringing a little bit of this to a little bit of that to make sure we even
Right.
out. I don't bring a little bit of this. When I'm done with a set, when they yell rap, director yell cut, it's over for me. A lot of times in my job, they ask me, hey, what do we think about the event we did last year? I'm like, what event? They're like, no, you remember that big event that we did with all those people? I'm like, I have no idea. I have no recollection of that event. Control, Alt, Delete. Next. Because I'm addicted to future progress. I can't rehearse the past, good, bad, and the ugly. That's how I work. That might not be everybody's story. Somebody, well, you got to recall the past. You can. My memory is for productivity. It's not for storage. That's the way other people work. But this is the way I'm wired. I'm very honest about that. Some people are like, oh, I can't rock with this dude. And you know what? Praise the Lord. Rock somebody else. But I'm me. This is the way I move, right? So balance is like I'm sprinkling a little bit of this on that and make sure it's the perfect recipe. Nah, bro.
Yeah.
That's not the way I work. What I'm in 1,000%. And when I'm done 1,000%.
Yeah.
Doors closed. Season over.
Yeah. Is that something that you guys had to learn like throughout the marriage, or that's the mindset that you guys came into the marriage with already?
I think yes and yes. We had it individually because Jenny is a hyper productive as well. She's like what she's doing,
Really?
she's doing. Yeah, she does her thing. Like she right now, for instance, for the last 3 years, as our son was transitioning out of middle school into high school, we knew that would be he's been in Christian school his whole entire life. We knew this would be a culture shock. So we started taking extra time to familiarize him with secular culture. So Jenny was like, I'm going into full blown mom mode. I'm gonna be his trainer because she's into workout and fitness. She's an amazing trainer. So she's like, I'm gonna train him for high school sports. So I'm personally gonna commit to that. So she, and even the way he understands girls, because he's a good looking boy. Apple
look
tree,
just like his
apple
mama.
tree, look just like his mom, right? So she's been like, I'm gonna train him on how to deal with these little ratchet chicks that's gonna come from nowhere that he doesn't have any exposure to in sheltered Christian schools. So she's been like familiarizing him with these kind of pawns and things that girls do, right? Walking him through certain things that a mom's perspective is the oil, like it makes it work. So this is the season of that, you know what I'm saying? So it's yes and yes. It really, we had it already, but it's increased as we've been together.
Yeah.
And how do you have the capacity to be so intentional, not just with work, but with your wife and with your kids? Because you do each of those things really, really well.
Yeah.
As opposed to me, I feel like I'm very one track minded. So if it's work, I'm giving all my attention to work, and then I'm like, oh, right, I do have friends that I haven't seen in weeks, or I haven't been at my mom's house much lately because I'm just focused on that one thing. But if it's family, then it's like work kind of falls off a little bit? Like how do you do both?
I gotta say, Jenya is she allows it.
Well, we ain't all married.
I'm just saying,
Reese.
but that what I'm speaking to right now, I'm speaking to your future. The person that's on the way, if they don't have patience and grace for your work life, then they probably are not that person.
I'm talking about now, where we are right now.
Now, I don't know how you do now. Because when I was single, to be
honest with you,
I got
you homeless. I'm control alt delete. I don't know what to tell you.
Listen, when I was single, I was married. I didn't see my family for years. I was gone. You're talking about a guy who was in Europe for like 33 months. Never. I just call home. My mom like, when are you coming back? I'm like, when I get back, I don't know. I'm killing this tour though. This thing is crazy. It's something's gonna suffer. Just know that. I think again, that work-life balance, it's unrealistic. Something and someone is gonna suffer. If you are successful, something in your life or needs to be in your life or feels like it has a place in your life, it's going to suffer. That's biblical at the very like God had to give up his son, right? I'm preaching on y'all show. God had to give up his son. There's a moment where he was separated from his father in order to fulfill the purpose. Something is going to suffer in every area of your life. You can't be in love with all things at all times. Yeah. Some seasons of your life, you got to go, man, for these 5 years, this is what I love about athletes. Athletes have to go, listen, when I realized that I got potential, when that first coach told me, son, you can go D1. I got to get focused. I can't go to the club. I can't drink. I can't smoke. I can't do these things. Something's going to suffer. People gonna hate you for turning your back. They're gonna feel like you're turning your back on them, but you really just turn your face towards your purpose, right? And when you do that, they gonna feel some type of way, and that's okay because that's what I call the purging process. Now, your family, that's different. They're gonna miss you, they're gonna love you, but if they understand who you are and what you're built for and what you're made for, they will respect it. And then you carve out a piece of time. You send. It doesn't take a long time to send a text. Hey, auntie, I haven't talked to you in a minute. I love you. Just thinking about you. Can't wait to see you soon. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? Like the whole,
just being intentional.
You got to be intentional with the time. I try to send my wife a text of just random, I love you. Sometimes I'm in the busiest day of my life. Like it's nonstop. People here, I got a phone here, got this going on, camera. I got to be like, hold on a second. But I made sure that she knows she's the main thing. So I keep the main thing the main thing. Like I make sure that she knows that she's prioritized. And if a day goes by where I don't do that, I double up the next day. I'm sending her something random. And I'm not even that romantic kind of guy. I just be like, girl, you find it in the mug. I can't wait to see you. She knows he loves me, right? It's it. So I think there's going to be a time where, certain things die so that other things can live. But it doesn't have to stay dead. You can resurrect it with awareness that I know that we have a lot of time together, but I recognize that what you're a part of, hey, listen, I'm praying for you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You got to do that because nobody's going to apologize for taking your time and wasting your time. It's your dream that's being pushed away from you as you're pursuing these other things. It's your dream, right? Some people want to see you separated so they can have you to themselves. They're like purpose hoarders, right? You know what I'm saying? You got to be like, no, I love you, but I love what God's called me to do and where I'm supposed to be more than I love you. Because if I get there, you're going to be blessed. But if I spend time with you twiddling our thumbs, my purpose is stifled. Now you're angry and you're frustrated. I'm angry and frustrated. See what I'm saying? Yeah. So something's going to starve as other things are being fed, but that's okay.
I mean, is it okay early though? Let's say you start.
Best time.
Huh?
Best time.
To starve?
Early win. Early as in when?
Early in a relationship, right? Like if something has to suffer, let's say you start dating someone.
Oh, I see what
you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like that time with that
getting
person
to know you,
exactly. It's very important. So does your work suffer at that time?
I think it's where you are in life, to be honest with you. Again, I'm all about like let's talk about the phase of dating, and this will help us answer that question. Yeah. Date one. Okay, it's an interest meeting. You ever been to an interest meeting? Yeah. Everybody got sold some knives or something like I did, right? That's an interest meeting. Cutco. You ever got invited to what's some things, timeshare? Like, you can go have for 3 days, but you just gotta do this one little seminar. That's an interest meeting, okay? So it's like, hey, who your mom and them is, right? What you into? Do you shoot with this lens? Oh, how does that make you feel? Right? All this weird stuff. All of this
Sony or Canon?
Sony, right. Apple or Android? Which one are you? That's going to tell us if we get in the second date.
That iPhone, Android? Listen, if I can't FaceTime you, what are we doing?
What are we doing?
What is life? That's WhatsApp you. See, that's the process of elimination. That's a blessing for you, right? WhatsApp. Oh, my gosh. WhatsApp is a disqualifier. I'm telling you. That's your main source of communication. You don't unfollow us, right?
What are you in India?
Unfollow this show right now if WhatsApp is your joint. But I feel like it's an interest meeting. So in an interest meeting, if I come and throw up everything that I am, I'm probably going to, if you were for me, you're probably going to be against me. Like, whoa, that's just a lie, right? I know that I have a lot of capacity, but that's just more. So I feel like in the beginning of the relationship, I feel like you're honest. And I feel like you have to make more time. Because if you don't make more time, you're never going to be able to feed it. It's never going to be able to grow. It's going to die right in front of you. But I feel like here's where I draw the line. If it cost me my dream to pursue you, I'm cutting it off. Meaning if you're in the middle of a project and it's super dope.
But at what point in the relationship?
I think sooner the better, Mark. But come on, y'all.
Because I'm saying, like, if you're in the relationship year plus 2, and it's like, or maybe that passion has been discovered while you're in the relationship. Oh, I didn't know I love this, but all of a sudden
that's true.
You love it, and you realize the person who signed up to be in a relationship with you at the beginning, like, that's not the person I met. We weren't picking up cameras before, but now all of a sudden you are.
For this.
Right. Like, at what?
So it's all gonna come down to the person, right? Because if the person knows that you're eccentric like that, you have things going on. Like my wife, for me to sit down and watch a 3-hour show, guys, on Netflix of anything is like a miracle. Like, tie my feet to the couch. I'm gonna be doing something else. It's not even there. Even if I'm there watching, we watched a comedian thing, a really long comedy show. It was funny as all outdoors, but she's laughing, knee slapping. I'm not even laughing. She goes, "Why are you not laughing?" She goes, "Yeah, but you're watching it, but you don't see it." I was like, "Yeah, I see the dude, but I'm already thinking, man, those lights are DH5000s, and I'm planning his next tour." So she's like, "Can you just unplug and watch the thing so you can laugh? Because it's super funny." And I'm like, I process different because I can regurgitate all those jokes. I could tell him just like he told them, right? But she understands that I watch things from two worlds. I watch it from backstage and on stage. As a communicator, going forward, I see it this way. So it's about understanding, bro. Like, I'm not willing to compromise who I'm supposed to be and what I'm supposed to accomplish for you. I feel like if you're with me, if you're that person, you're going to understand. And then I'll know when to say, okay, here's how much I love you. Push this thing aside for a second. But that can't be your MO to get me away from my thing.
So how then do you go about setting that boundary with the person?
I think you have to, early on in that relationship, I think you got to bring them into it. Show them how it's done. Have you ever dated somebody and brought them into your studio, brought them into your editing process and be like, "Babe, this is how I do it." And they're like, "Oh, this is so stupid."
You ain't the one.
Huh?
You ain't the one.
Yeah, and then Like, if you don't, I ain't telling you got to be as in love with what I'm in love with, but you got to love me to know that what I love, and you're not in competition with what I love.
Yeah.
Just understand how you fit into that. Just understand how you fit into that.
All right, bud.
It's okay, Mark.
Can we get the tissue?
You don't need it.
Flashbacks.
I'm not asking you to sit here as I'm editing the video for 13 hours. I'm not asking that, but I am asking you to understand that for the next 13 hours, I will be editing this video. And when you understand that at the 14th hour, after I die, resurrect, and get some sleep and a chai tea latte, right, we can go on a date.
Not a chai tea. Y'all got
Chai
a chai tea latte?
I got something for you. So when me and my wife were dating, okay, I came back home. I got another job at another place, and it was so demanding, all right? I said to her, I work 14-hour days. She goes, "Oh, that's great. For how many days?" I go, "For like 6. And then I get 2 days of break, and then I'm back on the 14-hour days. Now, in that 2 days, if you work that amount of hours, you want to die. And then you want to resurrect just in time to go back to work. So what I did was I went home and died. And then I resurrect like 3 or 4 hours early. I'm like, "Hey, I got a time for a quick movie." I'm talking to her every day. I'm working, but I'm texting and, "Oh, girl." And well, texting wasn't really the vibe back in the day. This is a long time ago, y'all.
Yeah.
I was communicating.
Her. Right? You emailed her?
With AOL, dial up. Right?
Messenger pigeon.
Right? So I'm communicating, but when I was on my way home to do my rest, I stopped by just to hug her. Be like, "Thank you so much." You know what I'm saying? Girl, I love you. You all right. You know what I mean? She hated it. I hated it. But she understood it. So everything and all that you're getting in your relationship, man, get an understanding. Let this person know who you are. Be real with it up front. But also, it's going to take a compromise. You said a word earlier, like relationships going to cost you something. Well, yeah, relationships is going to cost you something. But think about the word relate and ships, right? Relate, compatibility, meaning to come into some type of oneness. Ships means movement and traveling, right? So it's going to take you someplace. So you can't be in love with this and completely stay here and saying you're in love with that. That's going to it's going to demand something from you as well, right? So you're going to have to, find out where you are on that process and how committed you are to that process. Because that person might be super in love with you, like, oh my God, you're everything, and I'm just waiting for you to stop doing that, playing with that, and then so we can. And they're like, hold on a second. Oh, he's never gonna stop that. So I'll just leave. Right? That happens in our sphere. That happens when people are married for years and they're like, listen, I thought that one day he would hit the off switch and he didn't, so I hit it for him, right? And it's terrible to say that. But I think when you're upfront and you're honest about who you are, you can always evolve into something more. But you can't, the bottom line, this is what you're created to do. This is who you are. You think about it, you dream about it, you plan for it. Your life decisions are made around it. Don't abort that. I don't compromise. There will be some compromising, but as far as base level who I am, we don't compromise that.
Yeah. I think it depends on who the person is, right? Like
Could be.
who you're with, because you good?
Yeah, no, that's good. I'm just,
We're having.
yeah, that's
Wusa.
good. Yeah.
Yeah, it's hitting you all
Yeah.
the wisdom
Yeah.
that I knew he was
Is
gonna
this
bring.
So much.
Hey, this is wisdom.
It's wisdom.
Yes.
Yeah. Amen.
It's wisdom.
Amen.
But yeah, I think it depends on who the person is, because I feel like if it's someone who's worth it, it's easier to try to stay connected to that person versus someone who's like, man, they texted me again.
Pulling on you.
Question.
It's like, oh my
Christina.
God.
Stop
Leave
wasting
me
time
alone.
with. First of all, don't waste time with people that's not worth it. Straight up, I'm too busy to entertain you ain't even worth it, bro.
Can I
You know,
ask a question?
I don't
to
date
Christina?
everybody that likes me. I'm dating who I like. Does
Yeah.
that make sense?
Yeah.
Christina, what's worth it?
I don't know.
No, I mean, like, what does worth it look like? Like, how do you define that
Mm.
that person's worth it?
Is worth it chocolatey?
What?
What are we talking? That must be a commercial.
I was with you
back in the day.
Light skinned brother says, what? See how they be? Boy, y'all be tripping,
Worth
bro.
it.
Like,
I
how do you
think-
define the person's worth it?
I think you know when you find it.
Mm.
Because like we've talked about on that last episode, love and creativity, that one dude that I was talking to at the time, it just felt like he was pestering me about like just seeing what I was doing and all this stuff. And I'm like, I am working.
Oh no, see you.
Right
I
now.
gotta come for you on that.
No,
You
because
boxing out, cuz you boxing
No.
out, cuz the cuz trying to listen.
But
Y'all gonna go
he's not a
crazy.
creative. He's not a creative, and he has a 9 to 5. So in his mind, at 5 o'clock, I'm free to talk. So you gonna be free to talk, and it's like, it don't work that way. Because I
Okay.
communicated with you what I was doing, and you texting me every 30 minutes
Mhm.
is breaking my focus on what I
Right.
was doing. So if you want to come here,
Mhm.
Reese is not having it.
if you want to come here, you can do that
Mhm.
and see the process.
Just loading the bullet.
Right, he ain't even listening. He checked out. He's not even listening.
First
right
of
now.
all, I'm gonna give whoever this brother is, brother. If you watch this podcast, brother, thank you for being holding
Right
fast
in the
to
comments
roots.
below.
Right in the
Nah.
comments. You know why? Because he was pursuing you.
If I communicate to you, I am working at this particular time.
Right.
Like, I would rather you see how you can either help me with what I'm doing in some capacity. That's not literally jumping on the computer with
Right.
me, but hey, do you need anything? Like, try to support that rather than trying to break my focus. That's the one right there.
Yeah.
Have you eaten?
Have you eaten? I can
Oh, so he was asking the wrong question.
He was
Exactly,
asking the wrong
that's what it
questions.
So that can be guided though, guys. Like I said, man, they have all the keys, but I appreciate, bro, this right here, you get this for pursuing.
No, you don't get that from me.
Pestering versus pursuing. Next episode.
That's good.
Nah.
But then there have been other dudes
Yeah.
or that I'm talking to, and it's like,
She popular.
That I'm talking. Other dudes I'm talking to.
stay focused,
I
guys.
got
Stay
other
focused.
candidates.
Stay focused.
Uh-huh.
Another young man that I was
Okay.
talking to, and then anytime he called, it's like, hey, so it's like, I think it just depends
Oh,
on
like
the
you
purpose.
were like, hey.
Yeah.
So you
Okay.
gave the wrong dudes your number first. That's the problem. You ain't even
I
like
mean, they
bruh.
were both the wrong dudes.
But the wrong dude, you didn't like, bruh. Because listen, let me. You can't abort DNA, guys. You can't abort DNA. I don't care how creative you are, all the above. This is where I'll hit the other switch. If a man is built to pursue, so if and
But you
women
gotta be smart in how you do it. You gotta know.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying his tactic was the way. I'm just saying I appreciate bruh for pursuing. But also there's a part wired in your mainframe, okay, that's built to respond. And when you aren't responding to his pursuit, which means that ain't y'all, that ain't your vibe. Like that's why you're unattractive. That's why what was called to pursue you, what was supposed to be a pleasant thing was known to you as nagging you, because that ain't the guy.
Probably. That's why I said it depends on the person.
That's what I'm saying. It depends on the person. So next, we can't even talk about this bozo. Don't even hit the comments, bro. You wasn't it, brother. You know what I'm saying? Get this dude out of here.
Yeah.
Des, come on, Des. I know you got something. She's tight over there.
I know, she holding back.
She having a necklace.
She
She got the
delete her
dreads sweating.
Instagram.
She got the sweaty dreads.
You said the sweaty?
I'm just saying, you sweating.
Oh, no.
Scratching the neck.
Scratching.
No itch, just nervous.
Okay.
All right.
God.
I'm good. I think you talked about everything.
This quickly
Yeah.
became a confessional, or like just like wisdom given for the relationships
Thank
within
you.
Yeah.
creativity.
I'm glad I can help.
It's hard out here.
Yeah.
Creators need love too, y'all. I'm just
we
saying.
do.
Yeah.
And you know what? Creatives, dang, Joe. I knew that was gonna happen. I'm sorry, man. I ain't mean to hit you with that. I just got a question for Mark and Joe. Why y'all some good looking brothers? You know what I'm saying? I say that from here. What's up with y'all?
What's up with us?
What's up with y'all and the ladies? You know what I'm saying?
I was pestering. I'm just joking.
You won't get far with that.
Oh my God, Joe, what's up with you, bro? Every time I see Joe, I introduce myself. I greet him with, bro, you the best looking dude I know, and you get better and better looking. He be like, nah, bro. I'm like, nah, for real, you shouldn't be like, where's she at, bro?
I don't know how to answer that question.
Tell me, have you seen her?
Right.
Y'all getting up there.
Why?
We
Why? Okay, let me ask you a question, Mark. I'm sorry to come on your podcast. Right? I'm a guest. I'm gonna be going
He's
tomorrow.
officially the host now.
Are you guys dating currently?
Like dating someone?
Yes.
No.
Currently, yes.
Yes. All right, cool. So I'm gonna direct this over here. Why not?
Just haven't found someone to.
But you are looking
yes,
actively. Okay. So do you feel like you haven't found her because you have not been looking in the right places, or she's just not visibly present in the places that you are looking? Are you making yourself available, or are you hiding behind mics?
No. I'm making myself
You in
available.
these streets?
Yeah, I'm out here.
In these streets.
What streets?
So let's say,
University Drive.
Christina, with your permission, we might find Joe something. You know what I'm saying? So what's the criteria? What are we looking for? Give me 3 things you're looking for.
Wow, this turned
Yikes.
into a whole.
Oh boy. Hey, what's the time? Where we at?
Give me 3 things, Joe.
What am I looking for?
Yeah.
Gotta be well.
Hold
rooted in her
on.
faith.
Give me 3 real things. Don't give me these
talking about-
out to lunch things.
No. I'm talking about rooted in
Okay,
faith.
because
That's
you know how we
important.
be. Rooted in
if-
faith. All right,
like
that's important.
has to be.
Okay.
Has a plan going, like an avenue that they are pursuing.
Okay.
Professionally or whatever.
All right.
And is what's the term? How would I put it? Like has personality. Because I say that because you got some like their job is Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Or it's like their profession is looking good.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And but there's no depth.
Okay.
You know
So
what I'm
you
saying?
want
So, like,
more
I
than
need-
looks.
I need us to be able to hold a conversation.
So I got a girl in mind. Yeah, I saw her at the bus stop the other day.
Bust up. Yeah.
She has plenty of personalities, Mark. She has a couple.
She has a couple.
She got a couple personalities, right? She's
just pick one.
well-rounded. She's well-rounded, Mark. You feel me?
Can we direct that same question to
Oh,
lady?
Des is next. Yeah, I'm
Oh
coming for
my
Des. I just wanted to start with the gentleman.
We've
I think
already had this
we need to go
discussion.
ahead.
But we've not had this
I
conversation.
can't go through all
Des, the reason why we need to have this conversation
right.
because I believe that you're writing the vision. You're making it plain.
Mhm.
Those that hear it or see it can run with it. Potentials. And let me just say this. Y'all ain't sliding in no DMs, right? Well, maybe that's how you have to start, right? You start with a slide. Because I've
Some
not
people
dated
slide and then slide out.
But don't slide in. Don't slide in and be weird. Slide
Des be
in
holding the door.
and be like, hey, how are you? Like, those questions that you can Google of how guys to approach a girl. Like, start with those things. Don't be like, yo, what up? You know what I'm saying? Just I'm trying to help y'all because y'all can get some bozos out of this.
Yeah.
So yeah, Des, give me your top 3 things for the gentleman,
Okay, so
the man.
I would say he has to look good.
Come on now.
I have to be
Be real.
attracted to him.
Yes.
Like
Thank you for being
you walk
real.
into a room and it's like, dang,
Yeah.
I'm with him.
Dang,
you know?
dang.
Deep, intimate connection with God.
Okay.
That has to be a thing. And I would say emotionally available, like able to share feelings, able to able to share feelings, know what he's feeling, not just like, masking over it. Just being able to know who he is. Yeah.
You want a sensitive thug.
Yeah, sensitive thug. Yeah, I like the thug at the end. Yeah,
that's it.
I'm gonna tell you right now, you're asking for somebody who just, it's probably like 2 of them left on the planet.
Well, still 2.
I'm kidding. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. That's good. That's good.
Good stuff.
I'm scared of
all right, we're going to end right now.
Can we go ahead and just run?
Christina, you want one?
We're going to end right now. All right, yo.
Christina, what are you looking at? We had to do it tonight.
Don't cut tape. Don't cut tape. We know what Mark want.
What do he want?
I don't know. Whatever Mark wants. That's what Mark wants.
What Mark got is what he
wants. Come on.
wants.
What do you want? You got a potential right now.
Time is far spent.
Well,
wow.
What do I want? I think more than anything, this might sound cliche, but the homie, you know what I'm saying?
That's good.
Yeah.
Play
Somebody
ball
that's
with.
just like, yeah,
Loving
it's just-
basketball.
No, it's just like, like obviously beautiful and all that stuff, but at the end of the day, it's just like they feel like a friend.
That's important.
Not like, because I think for me, if I'm being honest, what has scared me towards even marriage is because I've seen so many relationships to where husbands have had to check in. And it seems like for them, from just perception, it seems like more of the boss. And for me, it's just like, I don't think I subscribe to that in the sense of, I want the person I'm with just to feel like my partner. Like, even like how you and Jenya are, like I've seen you guys for years,
Right.
where you could tell it's like we both meet at the same place and it's easy and you guys enjoy each other's company.
Yeah.
Not like I have to do this.
Yeah.
And I think for me, I've been scared of the fact of, like, I don't want to date or marry someone who I have to be there with them, but I want to be there with them.
Yeah, you get to.
So yeah, I get to. So homie, faith, of course, and I think someone who has vision.
Yeah.
And we
Going
can
places.
get there together. Like whatever your goals are and my goals are, we can take those things, put them together, and boom, make something happen.
That's dope. Christina, close it out now. Hit us with the big stuff. Come on.
No, actually, it's a combination of what they said. Everything she said, plus the vision, plus just being driven. Like, do you know where you want to go, and how can I help you get to that place, and how can you help me get to the place that I'm supposed to go to?
Your man in church. I'm telling you that right now.
I don't know if that's good or
Like
bad.
that.
I don't know if that's good or
What
bad.
church?
Huh? A church.
Okay.
A church, some
Underneath.
church, not my church. That's for sure.
Well, first of all,
He ain't there yet.
I'm about to
Lord,
say,
she's
okay.
sorry.
Could come through the doors.
Is yours at church?
I'm not. No.
Okay.
Is yours at
So-
church?
Guys, I found mine in church. I don't know what y'all tripping.
No.
Y'all, y'all faith is in the
You
wrong
missed-
position.
Yeah, you got missed. Not
in-
currently.
Not in church. Not
That-
yet.
Like,
They ain't there
I-
yet.
I'll pray us
present.
out today. I know I'm gonna pray for y'all.
Yeah.
Go ahead, pray us
Lord,
out.
give them eyes to see what
Nah.
you put in motion, Jesus.
That same dude gonna come back in her DMs.
Now he gonna be like,
he gonna text you.
where you at?
You need food.
Ralph is working on this episode.
Christina
Where
gonna
you
start
at?
posting her location on every post.
Oh man,
You hungry? That's the way to my heart right there. Food.
that's great.
Anyway, we're gonna leave it there.
Yeah.
We should do a part 2 to
Come
this
on with
Yeah,
it.
in
we
some
need-
capacity.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know what we didn't talk about
Yeah, for
today
real.
because we talked about almost
We gotta have
everything,
Jenya
but-
on.
We didn't
for
talk
that.
about how y'all met.
At church.
Right, but like that story.
That
Well,
story.
for next time.
Yeah, we'll
For
say
next
that
time.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah. All right, yo. Well, thank you guys for checking us out again. Thank you, Reese, for dropping all the
Thank you,
knowledge,
guys.
all the wisdom, gems, bars,
Thank you.
all the things.
Thanks, Joe.
Tell the people where they can connect with you if you want them to connect with you.
Connect with me. How you connect with me?
Instagram.
No, Instagram. Reese
Here's my
Jack.
aim. My
Right,
AIM.
my BBM.
My Cash App happens to be. That's how you really need to connect with me, right? No, my Instagram is Reese Jack, and that's the best way. Reese Jack. Check me out on Instagram.
RESE.
RESE, not already all this other stuff. RESEJACK on the gram. Yes, sir.
Bet. And you can follow us on Instagram at creativesareessential. TikTok, not Twitter yet, but Also go to creativesareessential.co. Get yourself some merch like what he has. Even though you're not gonna find that.
Yeah,
that was
these are long gone.
Edition, baby.
But we still got these. The shirt that she got on right now. Get it while you can, because once it's gone, it's gone.
I actually bootleg these, so I got them. Y'all hit me.
Yeah.
Put it back in my
Yeah. Thanks for checking us out. If you like what you heard and you do want to support the podcast, you can always send us, a donation at $ creatives are essential on Cashapp. And that's all we got for you. Thanks for checking us out. My name is Christina.
It's your boy Mark Lee.
Des.
And I'm Joe. Later, friends.
Peace.
Peace.